Okay, so now let's get like really serious. So now we have these two pieces of paper, and on those two pieces of paper, um, it has like basically what I want to do with my life. Like I was in a relationship that I didn't really want to be in, but I felt like I should. So we figured out basically how I was going to survive by myself because I was in a relationship with a great guy who was an amazing provider. And when you're in a relationship with a person that is a provider, it can be very scary stepping out on your own. So I knew how much money I needed to make in order to take care of myself and my kids by myself. And so what I did was for like a year and a half, I went through and I paid off all my bills. So then when we did split, it wasn't a problem because I didn't have any bills. Like it was just nothing, right? I don't know how I didn't know that by myself, but I had to go to therapy to figure that out. Pay your bills off. Get rid of all that excess junk. So that's what I did. And I also knew that the place that I was working at wasn't for me because there wasn't any growth there. So I went back to school and I got certified in eyelash extensions, which that is currently what I do. That's my business now, Lash Studio. But it was a little scary once again leaving because I was leaving a for sure check because I was an employee at the spa. So what I did was I started doing lashes on the side until I felt comfortable enough and I knew that I had the correct amount of income coming in to take care of myself and take care of my kids on my own. I basically had two jobs for almost a year and a half also. And as you can see, I keep saying a year or a year and a half. So these things for me did not happen overnight. It was a process. And I'm so happy that I rolled the process out because I have been very successful in, the plan has been very successful. Like so many people, so many businesses throughout that time that I've known have had businesses that have opened and have closed. And I always think, I wonder if they had a plan. Like, did they write all of it down? Because some of the things that, you see people on the outside looking in, you were like, I don't think they planned that. Or they spent way too much money on that build out or whatever. So I followed the plan. And then once I actually opened Lash Studio, it actually wasn't the location that I wanted. It actually wasn't the size that I wanted. I wanted a bigger space, and my stepdad kept saying, no, you don't need a bigger space. It's just you. And I was like, I don't want this space. And he's like, yeah. So today, 4 years later, I am so happy that for the decision that I made, and I'm so happy that he was so verbal and forceful with me about not needing this big glamorous space that I wanted so badly, because basically what I did was I put myself in a position to take the money, the profits that I made, and put into other areas of my business. Like, my business hasn't grown in size, but it has grown in information. It's grown in avenues and different directions because I had the money to invest in other opportunities. And so it wasn't all just going into my business, or I just wasn't spending it all on my lifestyle, because I didn't have a lifestyle at that time, and I still don't have a lifestyle at this time. And so everything that I've made, I've been able to put back in my business, which comes into like, first started off, I was doing nail tech for 13 years. And I got to the point where I couldn't accept new clients because I didn't have enough room. And then I had to ask myself, okay, Stephanie, are you going to continue to turn down this $200 for a $20 manicure, all because you're used to it and you're scared, once again, scared, but you've got to figure out what it is that you really want. So, because I got this space, a smaller space, I was able to say, okay, I'm going to let some of these nail clients go, and hopefully my lash business will pick up. And that's what I did, and it did. And it picked up. Because I didn't have that huge overhead, so I never had to worry about paying my bills. You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny that a lot of the decisions, most of the decisions that we make are around paying bills, and we don't realize that it's around paying bills. It's the fear of not being able to do it, but if you plan it, right? And so the bottom line to all of this is that my depression forced me to plan my life. All right, and then the bottom line to another thing is that my depression forced me to ask myself the question, is why am I depressed, right? And I was depressed because of the person that I was becoming, because I knew that I was capable, and I knew that I was much more than what I was being or what I was doing, and I could do so much more with my life. And we put my plan together, and my plan created this beautiful masterpiece that I have. Lash Studio is no longer just an eyelash extension studio. It's an eyelash extension studio that features an Australian fitness line. It's an eyelash extension studio, and I train people in the art of classic eyelash extensions. I actually train new and aspiring entrepreneurs how to create amazing brands and lifestyles. Like, you can't have an amazing brand without a lifestyle, and you can't have a lifestyle without a life that you love. So I was able to do all this because of depression, accepting the fact that I was depressed, putting action behind my depression by going to see a therapist, and then working out a plan and creating a life that I love.